Yeah, good morning, folks. What's going on? Canal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Wanted to go over a quick play that we did yesterday in Nugget, and this is a setup that we do pretty much all the time. But Nugget is a gold stock. Nugget's a gold stock that's a 3x ETF that we trade every day, playing the markets. And so when you get a stock that's come down all the way from $114 down to 60, we're looking for it now for a potential bounce. And so you can see yesterday, that was our big winner trading this back and forth yesterday. Everything else I was pretty flat on. But I use a very, very simple technique called a remount to get into this type of play. Guys, catching bottoms in a stock that's free falling aggressively, is very, very hard because you don't actually know where it's going to stop. We can use a few different things to figure out where those potential zones are, and we use the daily charts to do that, but we don't exactly know. Is it going to stop at 70? Is it going to stop at 75? Is it going to stop at 72? When you get a range of $50, you're not going to be able to tell within a dollar or two the exact bounce spot just by looking at the daily chart. The daily chart will give us that big picture, but we're not going to be able to pinpoint the exact moment. And so I have a zone that I'm looking at for a potential bounce based on the daily chart, somewhere in the 75 to 65 zone, give or take based on this daily chart. And so now what I'm going to be doing is when we start trading this intraday, I'm looking for a very, very specific setup. And so what we have here is a remount setup. So if you look at Nugget, I don't try to catch the bottom on it. What I do is let it play out, knowing that when it finally starts to go, I'll have numerous opportunities in it all day. And so how I waited for this was I'm waiting for some type of setup that holds support so I can manage my risk and get in with a good potential reward where it can start trending. And so what I want to see is some higher highs and higher lows. And so I wait for this thing to come back down and start to pop up and fill this gap. And so when I see this big spike, I know that the bounce may have already started. And even though it's moved $5 or $6, you can't get freaked out that you've missed the run, because remember, the range on the daily chart is so big that this thing has potentials to make bigger moves. And so I want to get a low risk entry. And so as this gap is filled and it pulls all the way back, your first inclination is to think, oh my gosh, it's just going to roll over. But remember, your thesis on the big picture is guiding you in what you want to be doing. And so once this stock taps into the VWAP, and see how it busts lower on this. Well, I like that because that kind of flushes everybody out and brings in some shorts. And when you get this reversal candle, this is called a hammer candle, it's a remount where you thrust through and then you close above. That tells me that support has held. It adds confirmation to this level. It adds validity to this level. And so that gives me my entry. So I had 1,000 shares of this. I put my stop under, and my first target is back all the way up here on a day trade basis. So I want to sell some into that, and then I want to let the rest develop. And so I got the perfect entry, and now this thing starts to trend. And so I'm scaling out some, and then letting the rest develop. And you can see the rest of the day it started to trend as we've got now such a powerful reversal signal on the daily chart that can allow us this type of trade. So a simple trade, but something that I use all the time when I'm intraday trading. Intraday trading is about having a set of tools and tactics for you to be able to enter and exit stocks with managing your risk, but also getting those optimal entry points where you can still catch those runners and not be too early to the party or a little bit too late. So this is the type of stuff that we teach in the boot camp, and also on Bulls Vision. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm on screen share all day doing this, calling out these plays. I got my trading platform up. We made $6,000 and something on this trade, and I trade this thing every day. I trade this thing every day, and the day before is the same type of deal. Some days we're shorting it, some days we're longing it, but we use those big picture theses to get our idea of what we want to do. And then we use a whole set of intraday techniques and tactics to make sure that we enter with optimal entry points. So feel free to email me any questions, Canal at Bulls on Wall Street, or leave some comments on the YouTube. And hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care.